Now I can hear y'all and you can hear me.
Awesome. We can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much
Perfect.
for joining us. A friendly reminder to our media, if you have questions for Daniel, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll work to get to as many questions as we can in the time that we have with Daniel here, about 15 minutes. So we'll go ahead and go to our first question, which will go to Bob Pockris. Bob, go ahead with your question for Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, you've been in the Xfinity playoffs for several times. How different is it? You've been in it with, I think, with Talladega and without Talladega. So how different is it without Talladega this time around?
That's a great question, Bob. I feel like, yes, I've been fortunate to be a part of the Xfinity Series playoffs every year I ever ran full time. And when you go through the years with Talladega, and there is for sure the one, I like thinking about one that lets things keep me up at night. And that one definitely can weigh on you a little bit more because of how much more is out of your control, whether it be from your preparation or your execution. You can do about everything right and still be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And guys have been on the other side of it. Guys have locked in there that you wouldn't expect to. So I think it does eliminate a bit of that wild card side of it, as much of a wild card side of it. But it's gonna be fun to navigate it, and without that element to it, just to see how it all shakes out this year.
All right. Our next, Bob, did you have another question?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, our next question will go to Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead, Jordan.
Appreciate the time, Daniel. When you're looking at your opportunity going to the playoffs, you guys are kind of on the upswing right now. Do you feel like you can run with the 21 and the 20, or do you feel like you still have to make some gains?
I feel like from the raw speed side of it, yeah, we can run with the 21. Our alliance partners, I feel like we've unloaded with more speed. We've created a little more opportunity on that side of things. But the 20 for sure has done, has just continued all year to be one of the fastest cars, lead the most laps, and do all the things you have to do in order to give yourself the most room for error, I'd say, within this format. For us, in our situation, like, even if we find a little bit of raw speed, we still got to go and execute better. I got to do a better job. And as a race team, we just got to find that next level. You never know how some people are going to react within your company or within your race team until they're put in these situations. But I'm excited to see everybody have the opportunity to rise to the occasion, and hopefully we can do the same thing to give ourselves a chance.
And then overall, how would you kind of assess where Colleague is at this year, both on the Cup side and the Xfinity side, as it continues to kind of establish itself and grow?
Yeah, to be 100% honest with you, I think, I'll kind of answer the question backwards on the Cup side of things. Like what does everyone expect from them? They're just a handful of starts in the grand scheme of things, into the people who've been around the sport for 30, 40 years. I think they've overachieved at times. Obviously, there's times that their weekends have not gone according to plan, but I think they're doing a great job of trying to, put one stone in front of the other, on top of the other, and get themselves to a point where they want to get to, and that's eventually long term be a key partner within the Chevrolet group, and be able to go and race within the side of top 15, top 10 on a regular basis, and eventually have the chance to win more races and then championships. Everything Matt Colley does as an owner is to give it your all, and hope that, not even hope, just put the work in to go and be the best version of yourself. And I think Colley's done a good job of being the best version that he can live up to currently at this date. On the Cup side and the Xfinity side, we're in a situation where, the company has won a lot of races for the last couple of years, and for whatever reason this year we've just, there are some win banners hanging from Chandler and AJ this year, and Larson as well. Like, there's been times where we just have not had the race cars to go win with, or didn't have the execution to go win with when the speed has been there. I don't know where that, like, how else you answer that other than the fact that we understand where we're at. I don't think we're being naive about it, but also know if we can put everything together, we can have a shot to go to something really cool as the season winds down here.
And then kind of looking ahead a little bit, if you get back into the next gen car, how do you feel that car fits your driving style from the experience you've had in it?
For me, I was fortunate enough to run those first I can't remember if it was 4 to 6 races there of the next gen car, and it was so different that it's just a totally different style. Yeah, I don't. The little bit of conversations I've had with with whether it be Larson or with KB who've come and run the cars, and even the other Cup drivers that have driven our All-Star car this year, like they say, like I don't even know how much it actually helps you or not. So yeah, it's definitely a different thing, a different animal those guys have had to get used to.
All right, our next question will go to Matt Weaver. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Daniel, thanks for taking time today. I believe this is the first time in your Xfinity Series playoff tenure that you've started off the first round below the cut line. And I'm curious, how does that change the approach? Because even if you do advance, you're going to be probably right back where you are now, on the bottom, having to make up the deficit. Does that change the approach, the aggression level, the strategy?
Yeah, hey Matt, I don't think so, to be honest with you. And if that is the case, as far as starting below the cut line for the first time, that's news to me, a stat I didn't know. I feel like it doesn't change my approach or my strategy. I've said it all day that a lot of folks within this format, like, oh, they have a box they put their priorities in, and it's, oh, I got to do this particular track or this particular round, or in general, I got to do these collective things of the playoffs to give ourselves a chance to win a championship. And for me, it's always been about trying to have your best moment at this moment. Yeah, it's fine and good. You can build it up in your head, what it'd be like, or what you think you need to do or achieve. But in the grand scheme of things, if you don't go execute the now, there's not going to be the next thing to worry about. So yeah, above the cut line, below the cut line, it's no difference to me. Yeah, just know we got to go and do our jobs. If we do that, we should have a shot.
And then a big picture question. You've driven a lot of cars during your racing career, and people universally kind of praise the current Xfinity Series platform as being the best of NASCAR. And from your standpoint, what makes this car such a joy to race and drive?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was having this conversation within our Chevy training facility earlier this week with a couple of current Cup drivers, and that's what, I don't know, man. There's something about the Xfinity car right now where this package has evolved to over the last handful of years. The downforce levels, the composite body, even all the way down to the tire and the fall off we have. I mean, heck, I think of Kansas last week. I think we were upwards of 3 seconds fall off over the course of a fuel run, which is old school NASCAR. Just kind of what I remember as a young kid growing up, watching these guys slide around and had to wrestle these cars around. There's no time off in an Xfinity car. You were elbows up, sliding, trying to find the cueing of the limit of front grip and rear grip at all times. And it's taken a long time to get there, but man, this car has just been so much fun over the last 4 to 5 years of drive, and been thankful to be a part of this era within the Xfinity Series.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, our next question will go to Stephen, and then after Stephen, we'll go to Rob. Go ahead, Stephen.
I guess I'll be that guy who asks that question. Chris Rice said, or told the reporter at Kansas, that there would probably be an announcement on Collins Cup plans for next year this week. I know you were asked about them, I think, in post-race, but do you have anything to add or share to exactly where you would stand in terms of a potential Cup ride at Colleague next year?
For me, I can tell you that, I mean, there's been times within the last 3 to 4 months where I was going to Xfinity race. There was talks of Cup racing. There was talks of not having a job at all. Didn't know if I needed to go start a landscaping business or what. So it is still up in the air. Obviously, a lot can change at a rapid pace within the sport. But I'll leave you with the fact that I signed my first contract with College Racing in 2021 for 2022, with my hand up for their vision and where it wanted to be in 2024, 2025 and beyond, and where they want to take College Racing to. So I was super humbled by Matt Colley and Chris Rice's vision of what that was. And that's what I was signing on for. was the opportunity to know that there was room for growth. That my hand's been up to get back to the cup level since I have not my own wanting to get out of the Cup Series in 2019, and have had my hand up to try to get back. You never know if the opportunity is going to come or not, but I know I've been working every day to try to be the best version of myself, best version of a race car driver that I can be, and kind of navigating these waters of the ever changing platform our sport's going through. And the long-winded answer to it is my hand's been up for whatever 2019 was there in year count, to try to get back to that level. So that's been the goal, and that's what I've always been working back towards.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I asked. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we'll take our next question from Rob Tionson. Go ahead, Rob.
Thank you. And thanks for joining us today, Daniel. Now that you've had a race under the number 10 car, I know it wasn't the greatest result at Kansas, but now with this round of 12, how confident do you feel about advancing to the next round and possibly getting another win here?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I liked a lot of little things we did right within the 10 group at Kansas. I'm glad we kind of acclimated ourselves within a weekend. Obviously, we had some mechanical issues before we ever got a chance to even get to the first pit stop to kind of go through those motions of things. But I felt good about communication, which was the big thing we needed to check last weekend. Yeah, now it's just, like I said a little earlier, just being in the moment and making the most of each and every moment we're in. I know I got a group around me that are more than capable of doing the job. So we got to go do those jobs and give ourselves those chances you're talking about.
Sounds good, Daniel. Good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Take our next question from Matt Weaver. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I've already asked. I'm good.
I don't want to talk to you
either. We will go to Nathan Sullivan. Go ahead, Nathan.
Thank you. Hey, Daniel, appreciate the time. You've had a consistent summer, lots of top 10s, June, July, August. Do you feel like you're flying under the radar a bit at all, or do you feel like you're being underlooked just because you haven't won a race this season?
I don't say underlooked. I feel like I don't want to paint us to be something that we're not. I know the stats show we can go string together top 10s and top 5s, and I know the stats show that we can go and have mechanical failures, and we can go and I can make a bonehead move that takes us out of a race and a finish. So I don't really know where that puts us as far as flying, but I feel like we're doing us. And if we can go and improve upon all those things, and then we can go give ourselves a shot. But until that happens, there's no bigger battle than the battle within yourself. So that's what we're trying to fight.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to squeeze in one last quick question from Luke and Glover. Go ahead.
Hey, Daniel, appreciate your time. Looking at your career in the Xfinity Series, you've made the championship 3 times, and of course, won a championship in 2021. Do you feel what's kind of does the format really fit your style of getting to that point? Do you feel like it really provides an opportunity versus other series of making a championship 4? And what tracks do you look at as you go into the playoffs as an opportunity to really cash in on for your group?
Yeah, I mean, for our group, I feel like some of our speed is kind of transitioned from 1.5 to concrete surfaces like a Martinsville or Bristol. Our Texas stuff was good in years past, but I look at the opportunity there, and I think they're as good as any at all those racetracks I've shown and proven over the years. Not that that means for future success, but I think I've been doing this, like you said, long enough to make the championship Final 4 enough times. Along that time frame, I've had to go run inside the top 2, 3, 4, 5 at I think every one of the racetracks ahead, if I'm thinking correctly. So my point is, I don't necessarily feel like there's a weak place from how we approach something. It's just a matter of whether or not we double dot our I's and double cross our T's and bring our stuff each and every moment. But it's good to have been through that process, whether I've came out as a champion or didn't, just to learn from that and be better within my my journey of growth, and look forward to taking all that and using it the best I can over the next handful of weeks.
And if you're able to get a victory here in the playoffs, we gotta know how's the back foot feeling? Well,
it's about like you trying to say it. It's been a little shaky. No, I've actually, between the leg injury I had back in February and never went under the knife to get it fixed, but had a lot of really, really good, smart people around me to help re-strengthen and get my leg to the best shape it's going to be without going into the surgery side of things. So I haven't done one. It's pretty standard for me to stand on the floor and cut a back flip and land on my feet, but I haven't tried just from the risk management side. I don't know. That'd be a game time decision. See how it goes down.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Daniel, thanks so much for joining us and good luck in the playoffs.
Yeah, happy to. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.